Assalamu alaikum, boys and girls. Today we are going to continue the same topic and same exercise which we did on Wednesday. Exercise number 3A of trigonometry. We did till question number 10, I think. Today we are going to prove some identities, discuss how to prove the identities. For example, I have a question. You are already familiar with this technique, either to prove the identities. What we do, first of all, we select the side which has greater number of terms. It's your choice whether we take left side or right side to start our procedure. In this case, I'm selecting left hand side. So here I feel I have more number of terms. Second step is to change all the trigonometric ratios into sine and cosine. Sine and cosine. So I'm changing tan and cot into sine and cosine. Third step is to simplify. So if in simplification, I can take LCM of the denominator. LCM would be cos x into sin x. So I'll get sine square x plus cos square x. That would be 1 over sine square x plus cos square x is 1, already known to you. So I'll replace it by 1 over cos x sine x. So denominator, if I want to multiply the denominator, I have to take its reciprocal. So it will be equal to cos x into sine x. So this is my final answer, equal to right hand side. RHS means the right hand side. So I have finally arrived at the right hand side, sine x into cos x. C part says 1 minus cos square x over secant square is equal to 1 minus sine square x. So again, I'm going to choose or start with left hand side because it has greater number of terms. So 1 minus cos square over secant square minus 1. So as I told you, after selecting the left hand side, second step is to change all the trigonometric functions, either sine or cos. So already I'm not going to change this cos, I'm going to change secant square into 1 over cos square. So it will be 1 minus cos square x. Secant is changed into, so I'll write its reciprocal is cos square x minus 1. In the denominator, I have to simplify. 1 minus cos square x. If I take LCM, it would be cos square x. I'll get 1 minus cos square x. 1 minus cos square x is a numerator. Denominator, I'm multiplying it by the reciprocal of the denominator. Cos square x over, I have taken reciprocal of the denominator. So these two expressions cancels, we're left with cos square x. Now I have simplified it completely. So my first step was to select the side with a greater number of terms, then change into sine or cos. I have changed secant into cos. Third step is to simplify. After simplification, I have arrived at cos square x. Then after simplifying, you consider the other side, what is required. What required is 1 minus sine square. And I have cos square. And I know cos square is equal to 1 minus sine square x, which is the right hand side. So similar identities will be, you will try at home yourself. If you have any problem, then we'll discuss it later. Further, I'm going to sketch some graphs for you and see how to sketch the graphs. Question number 11 says sketch first part says y is equal to 1 plus secant x. Last time we discussed what is the shape of a graph of secant, and because it is a reciprocal of cos, so what we did, we drew the graph for cos, and then we took its reciprocal. So it's not necessary to follow the same procedure. You can just, using the different values, you can locate the different points. As I know, along y-axis, as you know, the function y is equal to a sine bx plus c. If the function is given in this manner, you know what a stands for, what b stands for, and what c stands for. Just to give you a reminder, you have done in paper 1. A stands for amplitude of the curve. B stands for number of complete cycles or curves, and C stands for line of symmetry. It's not necessary for just sine function. For any function, we have to follow the same procedure. If it is sine or cos, for all is for amplitude, B means the number or coefficient of the X is the number of complete cycles, and C is a line of symmetry. In this case, if you compare with this equation, you can see that coefficient of secant, coefficient of sine, here it is A. Here the coefficient of secant is 1. So it means its amplitude is 1. Coefficient of X, there is no coefficient of X. It means there is only one complete cycle of the wave, but constant term is 1. It means the line of symmetry is 1. So y is equal to 1. This is your line of symmetry. So the curve will be drawn about this line. So again, remember, if I replace it by, say, secant. So coefficient of secant stands for amplitude. How high the wave or how low the wave will be, maximum or minimum values. B stands for number of complete cycles of that curve, and C stands for line of symmetry. C is a constant term. Here the constant term is 1. So line of symmetry is y is equal to 1. This curve will be about y is equal to 1. अब secant is reciprocal of cos, and cos has maximum minimum values. Cos has maximum value of 1 and minimum value of -1. So the curve of cos can fluctuate between 1 and -1. But in case of secant, it will be an infinite curve. Let's see how to plot it. So I have to take intervals along x-axis, which represents the angle. Because it is in gradients, I'm taking pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, and 2 pi. What you have to do is just put this value in this function and see what you get. Y is equal to 1 plus secant pi by 2. You won't get the value of secant pi by 2. Instead of that, I'll take 1 plus 1 over cos pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 is 0. Is 0. So 1 over 0 will give you infinity. So at pi, the curve is infinite. So it will be, first I have to check 0 as well. Y is equal to 1 plus 1 over cos 0. At 0 degree, cos is 1. So 1 divided by 1 is 1 plus 1, 2. So at 0 degree, you are here. At 90 degree, it is undefined. Secondly, you have to consider cosine 0 between 0 and 90 degree, cosine is positive. So cosine positive means this curve will bend in a positive section. So it will go upward like that. So what I did, I just took 1 plus secant theta, and I have taken reciprocal of secant as cos. When I substitute the value of x as pi by 2, I know cos pi by 2 is 0. So 1 divided by 0 is undefined. So at pi by 2, the function is undefined. So at pi by 2, it is undefined. The curve is upward. At 0 degree, cosine 0 is 1. So 1 divided by 1 plus 1, it's 2. So at 0 degree, point is here. So I have just plotted the curve in the first quadrant. Then I consider the next three values. Y is equal to 1 plus secant x. I'm taking 1 plus 1 over cos pi. At cos pi is equal to minus 1. So minus 1 means it will be 1 minus 1 equal to 0. So at pi cos is, this function is 0. 0 means the point lies here. At 3 pi by 2, y is equal to 1 plus 1 over cos 3 pi by 2. At 3 pi by 2 again cos is 0. It gives you 1 plus 1 over 0, undefined. So again it is undefined. At pi it is 0. In second quadrant I know that cos in the second quadrant is negative. At pi by 2 it is remains undefined. So curve bent like that. At pi by 2 it is undefined. At 3 pi by 2 again it is undefined. Because it is in second quadrant, in the third quadrant, cos is negative, so the curve is bending downward. Then I have to find 2 pi. So cos 2 pi is equal to 1, so it will be 1 plus 1 again 2. So at 2 pi you are here. But at 3 pi by 2, it was undefined. You are in the fourth quadrant. It remains undefined at 3 pi by 2, but the curve bends like that. It is in positive section. So I don't have to follow the technique which I explained you the last time, that first draw the curve of the cos and then to take the reciprocals of every point. Simply by calculating, you can find the location where the point lies. Then you have to consider the quadrant, what is the behavior of the cos curve in the first quadrant, in the second quadrant, in third, and in the fourth. So this is how you can sketch any graph. Y is equal to 2 cosecant x minus pi by 2. As you can see in this case, the amplitude is 2, the curve, the maximum value 2 and the minimum value is minus 2. The curve can fluctuate perpendicularly between 2 and minus 2. There is no coefficient of x, so there will be only one curve in 2 pi. Again, I'm going to follow the same technique. I'm going to write it as y is equal to 2 cosecant x minus pi by 2 as 2 over sine x minus pi by 2. You just have to replace x with the values on x-axis. If I put x is equal to 0, y is equal to 2 over, if I replace x with 0, I get 0 minus pi by 2. Sine negative pi by 2 gives you minus 1. So the answer is minus 2. So at 0, the point is here. If I put x, I replace x by pi by 2. So I get sine 0. Sine of 0 is 0, that is undefined. That is undefined. So at pi by 2, your curve starts from 2 and bends downward. If I use x is equal to pi, so pi minus pi by 2 will be sine pi by 2, that is 1. So answer is 2. So at pi, you are here. And for 3 pi by 2, 3 pi by 2 minus pi by 2 will be pi. So sine pi is 0 again. So it is also undefined. So at 3 pi by 2 again you are undefined. This curve will bend like that. Okay, the fourth quadrant for 2 pi, it will be 3 pi by 2, that is negative 1. So 2 over negative 1. So answer is minus 2. So here you lies over minus 2. One thing you have to consider here, over angles x minus pi by 2. When we put 0 here, so remember I am considering sine x minus pi by 2. When I put a 0 here, so it is sine negative pi by 2 for 0. So sine negative pi by 2, that's why the curve is a negative section. Why the curve is in negative section? Because sine is negative. It will be equal to negative sine pi by 2. So that's why the curve is in negative section. If I put x is equal to pi, so pi minus pi by 2, we left with sine pi by 2, that is positive, that's why the curve is up there. If I use sine 3 pi by 2 minus pi by, actually this curve is not touching the vertical line at 3 pi by 2. Actually this value is slightly less than 3 pi by 2. So when you consider it as pi, it is not exactly pi, it is slightly less than pi. So it means you are still in second quadrant. So in second quadrant, the sign is positive. So this value is slightly less than pi. So pi means the x-axis in the negative direction. You are still in positive section of second quadrant. That's why curve goes up there. And when I consider 2 pi minus pi by 2, that is 3 pi by 2. So obviously 3 pi by 2 lies in third quadrant. That's why the curve will be in negative section here. So at 3 pi by 2, it is still undefined, but the curve behaves in this manner. So this is your curve. So just by substituting different values in the given equation, you have to locate the points, and then by considering the quadrants, by considering the sine or cos or trigonometric functions or ratios and their behavior in different quadrants, you can draw the curve. So that's all for today from my side. So you have to try this question at home, and I'll be helping when you send your problems. Thank you.